Good evening and welcome to the review of the third round from FTB Sports. Thank you so much, Ollie, for coming onto the show. In many ways, I expected you to bury your head, disappear, but the token of a man says, you know, he's here, he's going to face the music, he's going to tell us about his game. So... So, FTB Sports, third round FA Cup. We've got the United game going on at the moment. So, if we get any scores and updates from that, we'll update you.
1-0.
Sorry?
It's 1-0.
Who to?
Man United.
Really? Already? Wow, I thought that would be a really tough game because there's no Ronaldo involved at all. Cavani up front looked a bit pedestrian to me. I thought Villa would give him a hard time. But hey, it's very early days. So, let's say... But Ollie, thank you so much for coming on the show. I sent you this dreadful WhatsApp message just before your game because on Friday night's show, we'd had Rick, who's the Fulham fan on. We'd had Dan, who's the Norwich fan on, and Rich, who's the Everton fan, and myself, Ian, the Man City fan. And I said, hey, we're all through to the fourth round. No pressure, Ollie, mate. Get it off your chest. Vent like shit.
I've had some time to calm. I've had some time to calm down. And what's this word? Departmentalize everything. The team we put out was good enough to beat Nottingham Forest, but unfortunately, the players did not play to their expectations. And what it showed was that the integral pieces to our team playing well, when you take those integral players out, you don't get the same style of play. You need your Gabriel in there. Holding's not a good enough one to step in. He doesn't have that range of passing to start plays off. Leno isn't the same goalkeeper, as Ramsdale. And you take Ramsdale out, and you're already losing something. Tomiyasu, Cedric he's got to go. He's got to go.
Yeah.
We started Patino in midfield, and it was a tough night for him.
And Partey was almost man of the match against City.
But without Partey and Xhaka, Lokonga's good, but he hasn't played for so long. And when you take those pieces out, it didn't work. But then every player on the pitch, other than maybe Patino and Leno, they didn't show up. It didn't seem like they wanted it. But I don't think Nottingham Forest were that good. But we were pretty poor. Eddie Nketiah, we need to sell him as well. But it's like it is with this Arsenal team. We'll be doing so well, and then something will happen just to bring us back and remind us, of what we're still in that transition period. But fair play to Nottingham Forest. They won, and we're out of the cup for only the second time in the third round, but it was tough to take, and it wasn't a nice game to watch by any means.
Tavares was hoiked off after I can't remember, 30 to 40 minutes. I mean, I watched the game all the way through, and yeah, he was a bit loose. There was that absolutely outrageous back pass that nearly bounced over the keeper. But I mean, that's some humiliation, isn't it? Or you could say humiliation, or you could say incredible decisiveness and message to the team to wake up. To be pulled off.
I don't think that I listen to Arscast every episode, and they're really good at analysing things. In fact, that's like my kind of therapy for Arsenal, because I can listen to the guys on Arscast, talking about in a sensible way, rather than when you watch a lot of stuff on YouTube, people just kind of going crazy and going completely the other way. And they talked about that quite in depth, and they were saying how it felt like Arteta was doing something to try and make us play better. It wasn't necessarily Tavares. If you look at his stats and that, it wasn't that bad. Yeah, he had a few dodgy moments, but it was more Arteta trying to look at a way to improve us, because that's how bad we were playing. Now, obviously, Tavares might have taken it to offence. He threw his gloves off at the time. But like I said, on that podcast as well. I wouldn't be surprised if he starts on Thursday night. So,
maybe so. I thought he'd played really well. I mean, to keep Tierney out of the team, he must be playing well. I thought he was lightning in some of the games. Just out of interest, I flashed up the Arsenal stats: 67% possession, 10 shots versus 7, but none on target. Not a single shot on target in the whole match.
It's just our passing. It was the midfield. Our midfield. You've got a young lad, Patino, who he's not there yet physically, and we all want to see him play, but he's up against the Nottingham Forest midfielders, these big guys that experienced. He just wasn't enough. Lokonga didn't have a good game.
What's happened to Xhaka? I mean, unless he's changed his nationality to Nigerian or something. I mean, he's Swiss, isn't he?
He's got COVID. Yeah, that's why. It was funny though. Liverpool put out a near on full strength side yesterday.
Yeah,
that was an interesting one.
Well, Klopp came out in the press and
negatives.
He said there were false positives, weren't they?
False positives. Yeah.
False positives, so they didn't put the team out. I have some doubts there. I think he's dodgy. I think he's dodgy. When that was a very important game, he was going to have to play in midweek.
But now the pressure's on. That we need a result against Liverpool. We can't lose, and we have to beat Spurs basically. Because if we don't do well in those two games, then it's not looking good. It's a shame because I love the FA Cup, and I watched all the highlights on Saturday night before I had my kind of my meltdown. And I was thinking
a little jog through because there were some.
Yeah.
I mean, you're always looking for this magic.
Brilliant, it was a brilliant day of football, and the FA Cup's such a magical thing. It's so lovely.
Kidderminster.
Yeah, Kidderminster. It was just insane.
You're welcome to join us, Rich. We were just chatting through some of the games, the magic that happened. We'll come to Everton any moment, but I think there's. Oh, you're still there. Kidderminster are Division 6 against Reading, which is technically Division 1. They are the lowest level team that are still in the draw, but to see Boreham Wood in there as well, it gives some magic, and I think both teams have got financially lucrative draws in the fourth round, which is what they would want, wouldn't they? Flicking through some of the rest of the results there, I always watch for Nigel Clough at Mansfield there, which is a shame because I think Middlesbrough scored in like the 96th minute. Rick was dancing about Fulham winning. Boy, they went to extra time. He was sweating buckets there. Burnley, I tell you what, I think they're in free fall. I think finally Scott Danish has run out of spinach or whatever he eats or whatever to be that Popeye kind of character. Because Burnley are kind of in free fall. In all this, it seems like 10 or so seasons that Dyche has had them up in the Premier League. I've never seen them lacking backbone like you seem to be at the moment.
Do you think that's anything that's related to the recent takeover?
Maybe he thinks he's not long enough. I don't know. I don't know because it's strange. They've had a takeover, but then they say they're not going to spend any money in January to keep them up. And at least Newcastle have been taken over and they're trying to spend some money. So I don't get it. If you've been out of takeover, you don't want to be taken over and then end up in the Championship, do you?
No, well, I know the new owners, ALK, have loaded about £90 million onto kind of the debt sheet. So whether that's limiting them in the transfer, I don't know.
I mean, in terms of fair play?
Yeah, and just general cash flow and kind of where they have to prioritise the spend going.
Yeah. Or maybe they've done the calculations and the parachute payments and the return to the Premier League in a year's time is more financially viable than spending a shed full in January. We've sat around with boardroom tables work, Rich, for these bonkers decisions to be drawn out of 3-year plans or 3-year predictions, 5-year predictions, combinations and permutations. Good to see Mr. Rooney got dipped out.
Yeah.
Here's an interesting one because I'm doing this consultancy for Suits Direct at the moment. They are the main sponsors of Hartlepool, and they won actually. Hartlepool for I think division or equivalent of third against first. And then we come to the big one there at Millwall Crystal Palace, where Millwall took the lead, and Palace, Alisi leading the line there, really rocked back. So that's good. So and Palace are home to. We'll come to the draw at home to Hartlepool, I think, in the fourth round. So Palace might have a bit of a cup run coming. Barnsley Barrow I was watching final score whatever, and that was yo-yoing backwards and forwards. I think Barrow equalised 3 times with only 10 players against a much higher division team. You got to feel sorry for them.
That's a good
Boreham Wood, well, Wimbledon have done enough damage over the years, and then Leicester's showing a lot of strength again. Watford can't, like Burnley, just look in big danger. But anyway, Rich, tell us about Everton. Happy to be through?
Well, we're through. I wouldn't exactly say I'm happy with the performance anyway. So a lot of the things we've seen over the last 3 months from this Everton team happened again. So really slow start behind after 42 seconds. 2-man midfield. We got passed around for the first hour until we switched it back to 3 in the middle. Then after that, we actually had a modicum of control in the game. And it was only really kind of the age-old problems that we conceded again, which was that gap in front of the defence. But
was Decore playing? I can't remember. Alan was.
He got benched for Gomez, and obviously Gomez come in and scored kind of the header.
Yeah.
To get us back ahead. And so Decore came on a little bit later along with Jean-Pierre Cabamin when we went to a 3 in the middle, and then we started to look a lot more secure. We had a lot more of the ball, and we were starting to control the game a little bit more. But there was nothing in that performance really outside of the 2 bright spots we've had this season anyway, of Damari Gray and the emergence of Anthony Gordon as a kind of Premier League talent. There was nothing in that performance that was any different than we've seen for the last 3 months. So lessons aren't being learned. I don't think there was anything from that game that would bolster Benitez as Everton manager. Certainly not winning over any more fans within the Everton base. And we're kind of looking now at kind of where the next points are coming from. So we've got
Rich, you won. It doesn't matter. You're in the next round. You sound worse than me.
But after extra time against a team who was struggling in the Championship, who came out from League One last season with a full strength team out pretty much. I mean, I think
Come on. It doesn't matter, does it? You're through. You could still win it. We could.
Yeah, but it's
the
going to take us.
I've ever seen Everton win in my lifetime.
Rondon was applauded off the field.
Was he?
Just turn up for the Bucks.
That would be a first because the general consensus.
They applauded him off. They applauded Rondon off. Seriously.
I think they were applauding the fact he was going off rather than him.
I saw it.
Yeah.
Well,
I think if you look at Rondon play, he's always 2 yards behind where the ball actually is. So if you look at all the balls,
maybe he should be called Dobbin, and Dobbin should be called Rondon.
Yeah,
Dobbin doesn't fit. Dobbin's name doesn't fit Dobbin because he's actually quite a skillful, live, quick little player.
Yeah, and the donkey is Rondon. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Rondon's a strange one.
I got some stats up on Everton. Now, interestingly, I don't know if you realise, but Hull had actually more possession than Everton.
It's like I said, and a lot of that will come from
more shots on target.
Yep. And I said, so we've conceded 17 shots against the team who are struggling in the Championship, who were recently promoted from League One.
They did give you a bit of a kick in on the fouls front, though. But
they did give us a bit of a kicking, but
52% possession for Hull. You're right. That's not great, is it? I wonder if that had been split into second half versus first half, though. When they juggle that midfield and Decore came on, I wonder if the pendulum swung the other way.
Yeah, I would put money on it.
Yeah, interesting. Should we have a look at some? And Rich, leave when you want. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the fourth round. Come and join us on that pre-show. Let's have a look at some of the others. Hang on, wrong one. So we said that's what we got. Yeah, actually, I picked up a couple of funnies. Obviously, we had this Millwall banner out there, but at the same time, we had this Palace one, which I think epitomised it. More flipping animal noises from the the Millwall fans. They said they're saying Millwall are Neanderthals. They belong in the zoo. Extinction stuck at a crossroads. That was the Palace protest to the Millwall fans, and they did all that stuff. The homophobic stuff. It's I read in the Sunday Times Rod Liddle is a Millwall fan, isn't he? And I don't know. I don't think he should defend that, but he was trying to explain rivalry around the country and why the old Dockers of Millwall are rivals to the old Dockers of West Ham. Something about one lot went out on strike and the other didn't, and that's the same with Southampton and Portsmouth. Anyway, it was a bonkers article, but I just thought he should have apologised for his fans, not try to justify it. But there you go, Mr. Little.
What happened to the fans then?
Oh, I don't know what it is, because other fans as well, whenever there's a Chelsea player, so you had Gallagher and I think it was Gilmore at Norwich, and there's a variety of teams who, when you've got a lone Chelsea player, the Liverpool fans did it as well, didn't they, to Norwich possibly, or whatever, and they give it the Chelsea rent boy stuff. And it's just, Jesus, it's pathetic, really. It's like something out of a dreadful, working men's club in the 1970s. It's bonkers, bloody bonkers. Let's have a look at what happened on Sunday. Not really into Norwich. So the lads came on. Rich, he's gone. Dan was there worrying about getting beaten at Charlton. I thought they would for a while, but they went through. Liverpool did, and did actually have quite an understrength team, lots of not unusual for full timers, and they managed to win. Spurs, it was funny till about 65, 70 minutes, wasn't it? I really thought Spurs were going down at Morecambe. It was 1-0 to Morecambe, I think, till 70 minutes. And clearly Morecambe had run their little hearts out, and we didn't get the joke we thought we were going to get there. Leeds, another team, getting a bit of a drill. I have to say, though, West Ham and Wolves are looking like real solid outfits now. Really, really good. And then, I wanted to mention, we missed out on Friday night. City did the business. And did you watch that goal from Cole Palmer, sorry. I keep wanting to call him Cole Porter. Cole Palmer. The boy looks great. He kind of moved it down the right.
After the show,
yeah.
I didn't, because you were already 2-0 up by then. I didn't see much point in watching it. I knew you were going to win. I did enjoy the Chelsea game though, when they were getting beat 5-0, and then they got the one goal back, and the fans were absolutely crazy.
And they really celebrated that goal, didn't they? The lad put it in.
I like that.
They celebrated like they'd won.
That's all they wanted, was that one goal. Yeah. It didn't matter to them. Yeah. And that's the beautiful thing about it. I think that's what I was sitting there on Saturday night. I was thinking, I love the FA Cup. It's brilliant. And then, what happened to us was kind of very FA Cup-like, And
everyone was so happy through the draw. And then
everyone was so happy. The amount of WhatsApp messages I got, it was a great day, Everyone was so happy that we got beat by Nottingham Forest.
It's just everyone's just waiting for, we haven't even discussed Newcastle getting beaten at home.
As long as Spurs don't win it, I don't care.
What do you think of Newcastle losing at home to Cambridge?
Well, they had so many chances. It wasn't like our game when we didn't have any chances. They had so many chances.
Yeah.
And it was nice. It was beautiful though, isn't it? The guy who scored, you could just see it.
It wasn't overwhelming. 58% possession for Newcastle. 23 shots though, 9 on target, 12 corners. Yeah.
You could just see what it meant to Cambridge. It's a beautiful thing. It really is. You can't you don't get that anywhere else in the world.
Imagine that had happened at Highbury. To have that at St James's Park, it was full capacity. Trippier had started. It was a capacity crowd. To lose in front of a capacity crowd, that's pretty bloody awful, that, isn't it? So Newcastle, Burnley, and Watford, I think they're going to struggle to turn this season around.
I think Newcastle will turn it around. I think they've got a good enough squad to do it, but
not yet. They're going to need.
They're not in the FA Cup anymore, so they might. They might benefit from the extra time off.
It's interesting. Interesting you say that. So Norwich have probably resigned to their fate anyway, but Burnley are out, Watford are out, Newcastle are out. So they've only got the league to focus on. That's interesting. Could a team...
If you said that to them, what would you rather have? They would rather have stay in the Premier League. So I think that's how even those teams think about it. You know, the big teams, you get knocked out, everyone thinks it's hilarious.
Because that season City lost to Wigan in the final. Wigan got relegated.
Yeah, and what I would say is, though, I would rather get knocked out in the third round than get to the final and lose, because that is the worst. When you get to the final and you're at the game, you get your ticket, and you're like, "Yeah, we're going to win this," and then you get beat. So and I've been to quite a few where we've been beat. So.
But I'm just trying to think of the teams that are just above that relegation area. I suppose Everton, Rich is gone. With the other teams out of the cup, I don't know. Maybe it does work the other way. Anyway, let's
Man City have got to be the favourites now, though, haven't they?
You would have thought so, but the
when was the last time Man City did a double?
Home to Chelsea. Home to Chelsea for the next week league.
When was the last time you did a double? Does Pep ever won the double?
Yeah.
Yes. Second season.
Yes, it was the year that they got knocked out by Spurs in the Champions League, whatever that was, or was it Lyon? Yeah.
The double's on. You'd probably quite fancy yourself.
Well, again, it's the Champions League, which is the holy grail. So we'll see. Looking at the fourth round, let's have a quick look. So Bournemouth and Boreham Wood. So Bournemouth should progress there. You know, there's a bit of, but again, will that knock Bournemouth out of their stride in terms of automatic promotion? Will Rick be hoping if Fulham lose at City that Bournemouth go on and get distracted by the cup? But at least Boreham Wood will get some brass.
Yeah, but everyone does say it goes hand in hand. If you're in the cup and you're winning games and you're going through to the next round, it just breeds more confidence. So I don't think that it really puts you off, to be fair. I think if anything, it's the psychological boost. It does help.
You could be right. As we said, Watford, Newcastle, Burnley getting knocked out, that ain't going to do anything for the confidence. And from your team, I'd have thought, with the derby coming up, with Liverpool coming up in that semi-final, that confident, that won't have helped either.
Well, the silly thing is, we knew this AFCON was happening for a long time. And we sell Maitland-Niles to Roma on a
I wasn't sure about that decision. I wanted him to go to Palace. I've always rated him.
Yeah, although he played it right back. And it's
I'd take anybody over Joel Ward at Palace at right back.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. The decisions. So Xhaka needs to be fit for Thursday, and then at least Gabriel's back. But the pressure's on now from us. So it would have been a lot easier to have won that game. And then go in with more confidence. But I think we've got a better chance of winning the League Cup simply because of the players we still have left.
Confidence, though, is the Achilles heel of a young side.
I don't know. Well, you'll see it on the Amazon documentary. It won't be like the Man City one.
Yeah. So it only comes out after the season's finished, isn't it? All or nothing.
Yeah, that's it. Once that comes out, it's going to be really intriguing to watch. It really is. I'm really looking forward to it. But I would like us to win a cup, at least, so it's not like, it's all or nothing. It's nothing. So.
Yeah, I want to see how animated Arteta is behind the scenes. Obviously, Pep was completely manic, wasn't he? He was like a live wire. This role model. Nobody's skinnier, no one's fitter, no one's bendier, no one has more energy. He exemplifies the pressing game just in his coaching methods. He's all over him like a rash. No other surprise. You've got to feel for Cambridge, actually. After you win at Newcastle, you'd hope for a big money home tie. And drawing Luton, who were quite good at home, they might go no further. Chelsea should hammer Plymouth. That should be easy. Palace, Hartlepool. I'm pleased for Palace because they should progress. And it's ages since they've had a decent cup run. Rich has gone now, but Everton, Brentford, that will be no easy game. Brentford are bloody good.
No, that won't be.
Yeah, they might at the end of the road there. That will be a tough one for Everton. Huddersfield, Barnsley, whatever. Kidderminster, West Ham. West Ham will win that, but it'll be a great day for Kidderminster as a town. Liverpool, Cardiff. Well, it's a little bit like Chelsea, Plymouth, really, to an extent, isn't it?
When was the last time Liverpool won the FA Cup? Was that when they beat us in the final, Michael Owen? That must have been the last.
Was it that long ago?
I don't remember them winning the FA Cup.
In ages, yeah.
Yeah, since then. Only because that was against us, but...
Because in the last few years, they've won the Champions League, they've won the Premier League.
Exactly. So they've won all the important ones. But, they're probably thinking...
They haven't won the League Cup for a while either, have they?
No.
Nope. And yet, in their glory years, like City did, and I think that it was in that Paisley, Shankly and all that area, they loved winning the League Cup first before they won the First Division. And I think that getting a trophy under the belt early, I think it helps, and Pep knows that as well. So there doesn't look to be huge giant killing coming in this next round because the big boy clubs are all at home. Liverpool, Cardiff, City, Fulham. Forest Leicester will be an interesting one because we've seen Forest are not a bad time. You never know what Leicester team's going to turn up, though.
2006 was the last time Liverpool won the cup.
Okay, 15, 16 years.
There you go.
Yeah.
And Chelsea have won it 5 times in that period. And Arsenal won it 4 times in that period.
Wow. Maybe Liverpool could do it. Maybe they'll be the cup side of this year.
I think my money would be on Liverpool. Like I said, as long as Tottenham don't win it, I'm happy. And the thing is, they're good at home. They're good at home.
Will Spurs get past Brighton?
Brighton
Brighton pulled back.
Spurs are very good at home. Away, they're not so good. You got some comments there, Ian. Do you want to go through some of the comments?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I missed them. You're right. Let's go with them. We got 1-0 to United, as if we didn't know. Thanks for the updates, lads. Is it still 1-0?
It's still 1-0, but Aston Villa are really playing quite well.
Adam Daniel says, missed the Arsenal Forest chat, probably for the best. Do you want a quick summary? Quick summary for Adam?
That's all right. You can rewatch what I said. But Adam comes on my show, so...
all right. So a question for you. Jack Wilshere, pay as you play?
Definitely, after what I saw last night. Definitely.
Yeah. It could be desperate to sign him up. Or what about getting... what I was thinking for Arsenal was getting Barkley from Chelsea on loan.
He's not really a central midfielder, though, is he?
Isn't he? I thought he was. No?
I mean, I'd take Barkley. I'd take anyone right now.
Villa are going to score soon all over United. Come on, Villa!
Villa are all over United right now.
Beat West Ham, Gerrard goal. What's that mean?
That's when last time Liverpool...
Oh, maybe. Right. So maybe Villa's name's on the cup. Maybe it's not Liverpool.
And then, Adam saying Liverpool for the cup, I guess.
Yeah. So who are you going to take in midfield?
I'll take anyone right now, mate.
Wilshere, pay as you play.
Barkley. Somebody. I mean,
they could do with a signing who's going to hit the deck running.
We just need someone because right now, if Xhaka doesn't play against Liverpool...
Basuma out of Brighton. He'd be good.
50 million, though. I don't think we'll pay that money.
You paid it for Ben White from Brighton.
Yeah, but Ben White's amazing. When he plays with Gabriel, he's amazing.
Who else we've got? Southampton. Southampton's still in. They could get a decent cup run. Home to Coventry.
Is that all the games in that one list? Is that all of them?
I think so, yeah. That's it, isn't it? Can you think of anyone who's not in?
No, I just it's crazy.
I don't know who TBC is. I thought that would be Forest. Oh no, it'll be the winners.
No, it'll be Man United. Man United currently.
United or Villa at home to Middlesbrough. So if you think about that draw, all the top teams, City at home, Liverpool at home, Chelsea are at home, United or Villa will be at home, Spurs are at home. Not one of the big sides, maybe the exception of West Ham, and you take Kidderminster, have been drawn. Look at the away teams. 1, Leicester at Forest, So the draw's been really kind to the big teams. It will mean that by the quarterfinal stage, you will get some big games. Shame Arsenal didn't tag along on that one. So Arsenal would have been playing Leicester.
Yeah, well, you know what? Leicester was a hard draw anyway, so.
But at least they would have been at home.
Yeah. In all honesty, though, I'd rather win the Carabao Cup because I think we've got a better chance than that.
Yeah, just to get some silverware to start. I mean, that's where Pep started. A good start for Arteta, and to get into Europe.
That's the only reason we've got a good chance.
Fourth place in the cup, you'd take that, wouldn't you?
I mean, I'd just take a cup, and I'd take Europa and a cup. But
oh yeah, forgot about that one.
I learned my expectations.
Anyway, Ollie, thank you for coming onto the show. I think we'll wind it up there so we can go watch the United game. Come on, Villa. Let's go and cheer them on. Yeah. But seriously, when are we doing the next show? When are we going to do the next show?
Do you want to come on my show next week?
Yeah.
Cool.
What night is
it?
Next
Tuesday.
Yeah.
At 8 o'clock.
Week on Tuesday.
Yeah, week on Tuesday. Well, yeah. Not
and
tomorrow.
Is that previewing the Is that previewing the derby or previewing Liverpool?
It would just be a football show. So whatever you would like to talk about, we talk about. Really, it's.
So that's after City have played Chelsea.
Is it? And when's City Chelsea?
Next Saturday lunchtime.
Excellent. So we'll start off with that.
Oh, right.
We'll start off with you and that. And I'll get my cousin Luke on. He's a Chelsea fan.
And when's the North London derby? Is that Sunday?
That is Sunday, yeah. So we'll have a lot to talk about. And I've got a lot of friends that missed the last few shows, but they've said, like Adam and my friend Linton, who's a Spurs fan. So it should be quite a bit of a free-for-all. So it should be quite fun.
Right. A weekend Tuesday. I'll see you, Ollie. Take care.
Nice.
FTB Sports, if you like the show, please share us. Please tell your mates. Please like us.